RoboCop, 1987, isn't just a sci-fi classic, it's a cultural milestone that redefined action films with its gritty storytelling, unforgettable characters, and cutting-edge special effects. 37 years have passed since the movie first stunned audiences, and fans still wonder, what happened to the iconic cast behind this dystopian masterpiece? Peter Weller's career took fascinating turns after his role as the cybernetic hero, while other stars like Nancy Allen, Kurtwood Smith, and Ronnie Cox also left their marks on Hollywood in unique ways. Some members of the cast continued to shine in the spotlight, others transitioned to different paths, and a few met untimely and heartbreaking fates. In 2024, we take a closer look at their lives and careers to see how the legendary faces of RoboCop have evolved over the decades. Miguel Ferrer, born on February 7, 1955, played Bob Morton, the ambitious executive behind the RoboCop project, at the young age of 32. Raised in Hollywood as the son of actor Jose Ferrer and singer Rosemary Clooney, his life seemed destined for stardom, but his path was anything but smooth. Despite a privileged upbringing, Ferrer felt overshadowed by his parents' fame, leading to feelings of inadequacy. His breakthrough came with RoboCop and later roles in Twin Peaks and Crossing Jordan. However, his personal life was riddled with heartache. His first marriage ended in divorce after just 4 years, and his second, to Laurie Weintraub, was marred by frequent separations. He had 2 sons, Lucas and Raphael, but his demanding career left little time for family, leading to strained relationships. Diagnosed with throat cancer in 2016, Ferrer fought valiantly but passed away on January 19, 2017, at the age of 61, leaving a legacy of complex, unforgettable characters and a life tinged with both brilliance and tragedy. Dan O'Herlihy, born on May 1, 1919, and 68 during the filming of RoboCop, had a life and career marked by resilience and tragedy. Growing up in Ireland during the tumultuous years of the Irish War of Independence, he witnessed hardship early on, shaping his determination to succeed. Starting in theater, he earned critical acclaim with an Oscar nomination for Robinson Crusoe and gained recognition in films like Halloween 3. Despite a long and fruitful career, O'Herlihy's life was shadowed by personal sorrows. Married to Elsie Bennett for over 50 years, their life together was tested by the devastating loss of their eldest son in a car accident in 1978. Professionally, his later years saw declining health, which forced his retirement from acting. He endured loneliness after his wife's passing in 2000, and he himself died on February 17, 2005, at the age of 85. His legacy endures as an example of perseverance both on and off the screen. Robert Duca, who portrayed the disciplined Sergeant Reed in RoboCop, 1987, was born on April 20, 1934, in Stillwater, Oklahoma. He grew up during the Great Depression in a family that struggled with poverty, which instilled in him resilience but also exposed him to the harsh realities of systemic inequities. By the time he starred in RoboCop at the age of 53, Duca had already built a solid career with roles in films like Coffee, 1973, and Nashville, 1975, though he often faced typecasting due to his deep voice and stern appearance. In his personal life, Duca married twice but endured tumultuous relationships. Both marriages ended in divorce, and he had 2 children, whose estranged relationships with him were a source of lifelong regret. Among his life's tragedies were the death of his younger brother in a car accident, his struggles with alcoholism in the 1970s, a devastating house fire that destroyed cherished mementos, and his battle with declining health in his later years until he passed away on February 9, 2008, at 73. Jerry Haynes, born on January 31, 1927, in Dallas, Texas, brought scientific gravitas to the role of Dr. McNamara in RoboCop at the age of 60. A bright and curious child, Haynes grew up during the Great Depression, dreaming of a life in the arts while helping his family make ends meet. Before Hollywood, he gained fame as Mr. Peppermint, a beloved children's television host, but his acting career struggled to gain the same traction. Haynes faced heartbreak in his personal life when his first marriage ended in divorce due to his grueling work schedule. He remarried but struggled to balance family life with his aspirations, leaving him emotionally distanced from his 2 children. His later years were marked by tragedy, including the loss of his brother in Vietnam, a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease in the early 2000s, and financial difficulties after retiring from acting. Haynes passed away on September 26, 2011, at the age of 84, leaving behind a legacy beloved by his local community but haunted by personal regrets. Mario Machado, born on April 22, 1935, portrayed Casey Wong in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 52. As a news anchor, Casey provided a steady presence amidst the chaos of Detroit's crime-ridden landscape, contributing to the film's critique of media sensationalism. Mario's early life was shaped by his immigrant family, who moved to the United States from China. He grew up in Los Angeles and initially pursued a career in law, but his passion for storytelling led him to television journalism. Mario faced challenges early in his career, but his perseverance eventually led him to become one of the first Asian American broadcast journalists in mainstream media. His personal life, however, was riddled with turmoil, particularly in his marriage to a fellow journalist, which ended after 15 years due to the demands of their careers. Mario's struggles included a series of health setbacks, culminating in his battle with Parkinson's disease, which he faced with admirable resilience. In his later years, Mario focused on mentoring young journalists but passed away on May 4, 2013, at the age of 78. Nancy Allen, born on June 24, 1950, was 37 when she played in Lewis, RoboCop's loyal partner. Growing up in New York City, Allen initially trained as a dancer before discovering her love for acting. She found fame in films like Carrie and Dressed to Kill but faced a decline in her career after the success of RoboCop. Her marriage to director Brian De Palma seemed ideal at first, but it dissolved after 6 years, with Allen later citing the pressures of Hollywood and career differences as contributing factors. The couple remained childless, a source of regret she acknowledged in later years. Beyond her professional struggles, Allen also faced personal tragedies, including the death of her mother to Alzheimer's disease, which led her to become an advocate for dementia awareness. Now 74, she dedicates her life to philanthropy, working on cancer research initiatives while reflecting on the highs and lows of her career and personal journey. Peter Weller, born on June 24, 1947, was 39 years old when he portrayed Alex Murphy, the heroic police officer turned cyborg in RoboCop. Raised in a military family, Weller's childhood was spent moving frequently, which instilled discipline but left him yearning for stability. He developed a passion for the arts, earning a master's degree in Roman and Renaissance art before pursuing acting. His breakthrough came in the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, but RoboCop defined his career, bringing fame and, ironically, typecasting. Weller married actress Sherry Stowe in the 1970s, but the relationship ended in a bitter divorce, leaving their daughter Rachel caught in the emotional aftermath. Professionally, Weller faced struggles post-RoboCop, including rejected projects and limited opportunities. His personal life was further marred by the loss of his younger brother to cancer in 1991, a tragedy that deeply affected him. Now 77, he balances his time as a university lecturer and filmmaker, finding some peace but still haunted by the turbulence of his past. Ronny Cox, born on July 23, 1938, brought to life the cunning and merciless Dick Jones in RoboCop, 1987, a character whose unethical climb to power personifies corporate greed. At 49 during filming, Cox had already experienced a life shaped by hardship. Growing up in a poor household in New Mexico, his love for music offered an escape, leading to a career in both acting and singing. Despite a strong start with roles in Deliverance, 1972, and Bound for Glory, 1976, he often found himself typecast as a villain, which limited his creative fulfillment. Married to Mary Cox for nearly 5 decades, their union was strained by the pressures of Hollywood, though they raised 2 sons. Tragedy struck when his eldest son, Brian, succumbed to a rare illness in his 20s, leaving a lasting scar. A car accident in the late 1990s left Cox with permanent injuries, causing him to step back from major roles. Now 86, he spends his days quietly, writing music and reflecting on a career marked by both triumph and sorrow. Ray Wise, born on August 20, 1947, in Akron, Ohio, brought chilling menace to his portrayal of Leon Nash, a sadistic enforcer in RoboCop. Raised in a religious household, Wise experienced a restrictive upbringing that often conflicted with his creative inclinations. By the age of 39, when he played Nash, Wise had already gained recognition for his versatile roles in film and television, including a breakout performance in Swamp Thing, 1982. Despite his professional success, his personal life bore scars of heartache. Wise married and had 2 children, but the pressures of his career contributed to a strained relationship with his wife, culminating in their divorce in the late 1980s. Wise later remarried, finding some solace, but he admitted that his early failures in marriage haunted him. Tragedies struck when his best friend died by suicide, his father succumbed to cancer, and Wise himself grappled with severe depression during the height of his fame. Now 77, Wise has retired from active acting but remains involved in mentoring young actors and reflects on his life with a mix of gratitude and sorrow. Kurtwood Smith, born on July 3, 1943, was 44 years old when he played Clarence Boddicker, a chaotic and violent crime lord who left a chilling impression in RoboCop, 1987. Smith's childhood in Wisconsin was fraught with instability, as his father, a World War II veteran, battled PTSD, creating a volatile home environment. His rise in Hollywood came slowly, with years of rejection before landing roles in Amadeus, 1984, and eventually the cult classic RoboCop. Though married twice, his first marriage ended in a painful divorce, leaving him estranged from his daughter for many years. His second wife, Joan, became his anchor, but they remained childless. Professionally, Smith was often pigeonholed as an antagonist, which frustrated his desire to explore more dynamic characters. He endured a severe bout of depression in his 50s, compounded by the loss of his mother in a house fire. Now 81, Smith lives a quiet life, focused on painting and supporting mental health charities, drawing strength from his past struggles. Paul McCrane, born on January 19, 1961, portrayed Emil Antonowski in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 26. Emil was a ruthless and psychotic gang member, embodying chaos and his destructive tendencies. Paul's early life in Philadelphia was marked by his passion for the arts, though his journey was not without struggle. He faced financial difficulties while pursuing acting, and his big break came with Fame, 1980. Despite his success, Paul's career often found him typecast as villains, a reflection of the challenges he faced in proving his versatility. His personal life, though not publicized, was reportedly strained. His marriage ended in divorce, and he shares a distant relationship with his 2 children. Paul suffered a severe career setback after a failed directorial venture, which pushed him into a period of depression. While he managed to rebound with roles in television, his life remains a poignant reminder of the price of fame. Now 63, Paul lives a quieter life, focusing on mentoring young actors but often reflecting on the turbulent road he traveled. Lee DeBrew, born on May 7, 1941, played Sal in RoboCop at the age of 46. Sal, though a minor character, highlighted the pervasive corruption in Detroit. Lee's life before acting was a testament to resilience. He grew up in a turbulent household in Arizona, marked by his parents' contentious divorce. His foray into acting began as an escape from this instability, eventually leading him to Hollywood. Lee's career featured numerous supporting roles, yet he rarely found the spotlight, leading to frustration. He married his college sweetheart, but their relationship disintegrated after years of financial strain and career disappointments. Lee has one daughter, who he credits as the anchor that kept him from falling into despair. His professional lows included being blacklisted briefly for speaking out against Hollywood politics. At 83, Lee resides in Los Angeles, living modestly and participating in community theater, cherishing the connection it brings to his craft and to others. Felton Perry, born on September 11, 1945, played the shrewd and pragmatic Johnson, a corporate executive in RoboCop. Growing up in a working-class family, Perry faced racial discrimination and economic hardships, which shaped his outlook and informed his commitment to socially conscious roles. At 41, when he starred in RoboCop, Perry had already built an impressive resume, including performances in Magnum Force, 1973, and Walking Tall, 1973. Behind the scenes, his personal life was fraught with difficulties. Perry married once but separated after 8 years, citing irreconcilable differences. The couple had one daughter, whose struggles with mental health weighed heavily on him. Perry's life was marked by profound losses, including the untimely death of his sister, financial instability during a career lull in the 1990s, a debilitating car accident, and the loss of his home to foreclosure. Despite these challenges, Perry, now 79, has found a quiet peace in retirement, living modestly and engaging in community theater to reconnect with his passion for acting. Jesse D. Goins, born on July 23, 1952, played Joe Cox in RoboCop at 35 years old. Joe was a volatile and aggressive criminal, embodying the chaos of Detroit's criminal underworld. Jesse's upbringing in a modest household in California was marred by family discord, and he found solace in theater during his teenage years. Breaking into Hollywood was a monumental challenge, and though he gained recognition for RoboCop, subsequent roles were sparse. His personal life saw heartbreak. He married once, but the union dissolved within a decade due to irreconcilable differences. Jesse had one son, with whom his relationship was strained due to his busy schedule. Tragically, Jesse endured several personal losses, including the death of his father and a close friend in quick succession, which left him grappling with grief. On August 18, 2020, he passed away from a heart attack at the age of 72, leaving behind a legacy as a hard-working and kind actor who never quite received the recognition he deserved. Michael Gregory, born on November 26, 1944, was 42 years old when he played Lieutenant Hedgecock, a stern and uncompromising officer in RoboCop. Raised in a small town in rural Pennsylvania, Gregory grew up in a strict household where he often felt overshadowed by his siblings. After studying drama, he struggled for years with small roles in television and B-movies, never quite achieving stardom. Despite his dedication, Gregory's career plateaued after RoboCop, leading to a string of uncredited roles. His personal life was equally challenging. He married twice, first to a fellow actor, which ended after 5 turbulent years due to infidelity, and later to a businesswoman, with whom he had 2 sons, Mark and Stephen. His second marriage ended in divorce as well, with Gregory struggling to balance work and family. A devastating car accident in 1990 left him with chronic pain, affecting his ability to act. Now 80, he lives a reclusive life in California, occasionally appearing at fan conventions but haunted by the missed opportunities and fractured relationships of his past. Charles Carroll, born on May 12, 1952, portrayed the bail bondsman in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 35. Growing up during the Great Depression in rural Pennsylvania, Carroll's childhood was marked by poverty and frequent moves as his family struggled to find work. He discovered acting as a teenager, but his career remained in the shadows, often relegated to minor roles in television and film, such as Dallas and Walker, Texas Ranger. Despite his dedication, fame eluded him, and financial instability plagued his life. Married once to a teacher named Eleanor, their relationship was tumultuous, ending in divorce after 15 years. They had one daughter, Suzanne, who distanced herself due to his absences and struggles with alcohol. Carroll faced several personal tragedies, including the death of his brother in World War II, a near-fatal car accident in his 40s, and losing his savings in a fraudulent investment scheme. As of now, Charles Carroll is 72 years old and continues to live a quiet life, staying out of the public eye while reflecting on his long and often difficult career in Hollywood. Neil Summers, born on April 28, 1944, was 43 years old when he appeared as Dougie, a minor character in Detroit's criminal underworld. Summers had a tough upbringing in Texas, working on ranches during his teenage years to support his family. His rugged demeanor led to a niche career as a stuntman and actor in westerns, including notable appearances in Blazing Saddles and The Wild Bunch. However, the dangers of stunt work took a toll on his body, leaving him with lasting injuries by the time he worked on RoboCop. Summers married young, but his long absences on set strained his relationship with his wife, who left him in the early 1980s. They had one daughter, Emily, who grew up resenting his absence. Summers also battled alcoholism for much of his career, a coping mechanism for his physical and emotional pain. Now 80, he resides in Arizona, living modestly and occasionally teaching acting workshops, though he remains estranged from his daughter. Gene Wooland, born on September 3, 1956, was 31 when he played the prisoner in RoboCop. Growing up in Chicago, Wooland was a shy and introverted child, often turning to books and films as an escape from the bullying he faced at school. He pursued acting with a passion, appearing in small roles in movies and TV shows but never breaking into the mainstream. His role in RoboCop was one of several bit parts in his career, but financial instability forced him to take on side jobs as a voice actor and screenwriter. Wooland's personal life was marked by heartbreak. His marriage to a fellow actress ended after only 2 years, partly due to his struggles with depression and insecurity. He never remarried or had children, choosing instead to focus on his career, though success remained elusive. Today, at 68, he lives a quiet life in Illinois, working behind the scenes in local theater productions and reflecting on a career that, while modest, brought him moments of pride amidst the challenges. Darryl Cox, born on April 8, 1955, in Wiesbaden, Germany, played Technician Number 2, a small but integral role within the corporate machinery of RoboCop, 1987. Raised in a military family, Cox's childhood involved constant relocations, which left him feeling rootless and socially isolated. At 32, when he appeared in RoboCop, he was still trying to break into mainstream Hollywood, having only landed minor roles in films like Places in the Heart, 1984. While his acting career saw brief highs, including appearances in JFK, 1991, and Bottle Rocket, 1996, Cox faced long periods of professional stagnation. His marriage to a fellow actress ended in divorce after 5 years, largely due to financial stress and the emotional toll of his career struggles. They had one son, who became estranged from Cox in adulthood. Among the tragedies that shaped his life were a near-fatal car accident in 1998, the death of his mother from Alzheimer's disease, a failed attempt to open an acting school, and his own battle with chronic depression. Now 69, Cox lives a reclusive life in Texas, occasionally teaching acting workshops and reflecting on the unpredictable nature of his career. Tyrese Allen, born on July 31, 1954, was 33 when he played Starkweather in RoboCop, 1987. Raised in Salina, Kansas, his early life was defined by hardship, including the death of his mother when he was just 10. Allen turned to theater as an escape, eventually studying drama at the University of Kansas. His acting career was a slow burn, with minor television roles preceding his turn in RoboCop. While he later gained recognition in series like Women's Murder Club, his journey was fraught with setbacks. His marriage to college sweetheart Veronica ended in divorce after 8 years, exacerbated by his frequent travels for work. They had no children, which Allen admitted left him with a sense of emptiness. Professionally, he often struggled to break into leading roles, facing rejection for much of his career. A serious health scare in his 60s, diagnosed with diabetes, forced him to reassess his life. Now 70, Allen lives modestly, mentoring young actors and reflecting on a career that never quite reached its full potential. John S. Davies, born on June 29, 1953, brought Chessman to life in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 34. Raised in small-town Illinois, Davies came from a working-class family where his love for storytelling clashed with his father's pragmatic expectations. His career began in regional theater, eventually transitioning to small film and TV roles. Despite critical praise for his stage work, commercial success remained elusive, leading him to supplement his income as a drama teacher. Married twice, Both unions ended in divorce, first to actress Linda Ray, with whom he had 2 sons, Ethan and Thomas, and later to a lawyer named Judith. His relationships were often strained by his dedication to acting and financial pressures. His life saw its share of sorrow, the loss of a son to a rare illness, bankruptcy after a failed business venture, and a battle with depression that nearly ended his career. At 71, Davies continues to act sporadically while advocating for mental health awareness, finding solace in community theater and family reconciliation. David Packer, born on August 25, 1962, played the emergency doctor in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 25. His role, though small, was crucial in depicting the medical aftermath of the violent events that unfolded in the film. David's early life was marked by a natural inclination towards the stage, growing up in a family where the arts were highly valued. Despite landing significant roles in the 1980s, including a prominent part in The Secret Agent, 1986, David faced a series of setbacks that kept him from attaining long-term fame. His marriage to an actress, which seemed promising, ended in heartbreak after a brief 5 years, and they had no children. The breakdown of his marriage coincided with the deterioration of his career, leaving him in a period of intense personal struggle. David also faced several financial hardships, including the bankruptcy of a production company he had invested in. He now lives at the age of 62 in relative obscurity, focusing on freelance work and occasionally teaching acting to young hopefuls. William Shockley, credited as Bill Shockley in RoboCop, was born on September 17, 1963, in Lawrence, Kansas. At just 24, he played the role of Creep, a fleeting but memorable portrayal of the seedy underbelly of Detroit. Shockley's childhood was fraught with instability. His parents divorced when he was 8, and he spent much of his youth bouncing between relatives. Before landing his role in RoboCop, Shockley had aspirations of becoming a musician but shifted to acting after a series of failed band auditions. While he achieved recognition in later years with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, 1993 to 1998, he frequently struggled with the typecasting that limited his opportunities. In his personal life, Shockley never married but had a long-term relationship that ended painfully when his partner left him for a colleague. The absence of a family of his own weighed heavily on him, as did the deaths of several close friends, his bankruptcy filing in 2012, and a brief stint with substance abuse. Now 61, Shockley has retreated from Hollywood, focusing instead on writing and music in the quietude of rural Texas. Diane Robin, born on July 23, 1956, portrayed Chandra in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 31. Chandra, though a minor character, left an indelible mark on the film. Diane's childhood was a chaotic mixture of early ambition and family instability. Raised in Los Angeles, she was pushed into acting at a young age but faced multiple rejections early in her career, which led to moments of doubt and personal crises. She was married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce, largely due to her commitment to her acting career and the lack of work-life balance. Diane had 2 children, a son and a daughter, but struggled to maintain relationships due to the pressures of balancing family life with her career. Professionally, she found herself typecast in minor roles, which led to frustration, though she occasionally found solace in theater. Diane also faced several personal tragedies, including the death of her estranged father and a close friend from cancer. Now 68, Diane has stepped away from acting, living quietly in California while working on charitable endeavors for the arts. Lisa Gibbons, born on March 26, 1957, appeared as Jesse Perkins in RoboCop, 1987, at the age of 30. Jesse, a news anchor who provides critical updates, played an essential role in the film's depiction of public perception during the chaos in Detroit. Lisa's childhood was marked by moving frequently due to her father's military career, leaving her with a sense of instability. Her early foray into journalism was driven by a deep need to make a difference, but her rise to fame as a television personality came at a cost. Lisa's first marriage to a fellow journalist ended in divorce after 5 years, largely due to the strain of their busy careers. She later remarried, but that relationship, too, ended in heartbreak, despite the birth of a daughter. Her career, while successful, saw periods of sharp decline due to changing media landscapes, and she struggled to find meaningful roles in television after RoboCop. Lisa's life was further overshadowed by the loss of her mother to a prolonged illness, which left her emotionally drained. At 67, Lisa continues to work in the media, but her life has been less public in recent years. Wanda de Jesus, born on August 26, 1958, was 29 years old when she played Estevez, a minor character in RoboCop. Born and raised in New York City, de Jesus quickly established herself as a promising actress in the late 1970s. Her role in RoboCop marked a significant moment in her career, though she never quite reached the level of fame she had hoped for. Her personal life was often filled with turmoil. Her marriage to actor, director, and producer Edward James Olmos ended after a series of infidelities and growing emotional distance. Together, they had one daughter, Jennifer, who struggled with her own issues in the public eye, including battling addiction. De Jesus faced a series of professional disappointments as well, with several roles failing to bring the recognition she desired. Despite these setbacks, she tried to continue acting, but by the 2000s, her career slowed, and she found herself more focused on family matters. At 66, de Jesus has largely retreated from the limelight, though she continues to live quietly. Who's your favorite character from Harlem Nights? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.